Right. Let's turn the water on.
Well, what's to say it's not different this time? What if it's fire or something?
You're messing with me.
I'm totally messing with you.
Hello and welcome to the picked last review of Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, giving you the average gamer's take on the latest installment of the Uncharted series. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy was released on August 22nd, 2017, exclusively for the PlayStation 4 by Sony and Naughty Dog. Up until this point, the Uncharted series have been following the adventures of treasure hunter Nathan Drake, who you play in each of the previous main installments. Not this time, however. Now you take on the role of Chloe Fraser, who is every bit as much the treasure hunter that Nathan ever was. You won't find Nathan in the main story of this game, not that he isn't sometimes on the minds of the characters who are here.
You and Nathan Drake. Professional relationship? Mostly professional.
Like pretty much all of Nathan's past adventures, Chloe is seeking a lost artifact. This time it's the Tusk of Ganesh, which she has tracked down to the mountains of India during a time of internal strife. She's joined on her quest by mercenary Nadine Ross, who helps with some of the heavy lifting and fights. And unlike some AI partners that seem to do nothing but get in your way, I'm looking at you, Skyrim, Nadine tends to kick some serious ass.
What the?
That works too.
Truly, you'll still be doing most of the fighting, driving, and puzzle solving, but Nadine is great to have around. This wouldn't be an Uncharted game without a bad guy who is also looking for the same artifact, and in this case it's Asav, the leader of a rebel group who is trying to start a revolution. Finding the Tusk of Ganesh seems to be the linchpin in his plan, and he will stop at nothing to get it. After sneaking into a rebel hideout, Chloe and Nadine discover a very helpful-looking disc, as well as a map that tells them that they need to search the lost Hoysala Empire somewhere in the western Ghats of India. They are, of course, discovered by Asav and his men, and after a fast and sometimes confusing escape, they make their way to the Ghats. You're introduced to your beat-up jeep, and after a little more adventuring, you arrive in the Hoysala Empire at the bottom of Chloe's map. Hoysala is open world, so you can explore any part of it you want at any time. There is, of course, a specific order the game would like you to go in, but you don't have to. There's a central tower that, once climbed, gives you a good look at the surrounding area, including the 3 fortresses you'll need to visit. These 3 fortresses carry the symbols of mythical Hindu weapons: Shiva's axe, Ganesh's trident, and Parashurama's bow. If you don't go to the tower first, I didn't.
Been there, done that.
There are also 3 smaller sites being guarded by Asav's men, each of them which offer some insight into the nearest fortress and its location. You can also find areas that include other symbols, usually animals. These mark the location of a hidden token, which Chloe takes up collecting. Some tokens are fairly easy to get, requiring you to blow up a breakable wall or pick a lock. Others require solving a puzzle. These are usually pretty easy, at least once you figure out what to do. If you collect all the tokens and you've found the special set of ruins where you can place them, you can collect a unique prize. Since this is a no-spoiler review, I won't tell you what it does. Sorry. But it is kind of useful. Every time you find or clear a new location, Chloe updates her map. And if you find the special token ruins before gathering all the tokens, she'll mark all of the token locations on the map.
I'll just jot that down.
While the map isn't that big, it does take some time to drive across, especially if you get lost. But most of the time, Chloe and Nadine will be talking to each other while driving, even being nice enough to pick up where they left off if Chloe gets out and back in again. And these chats can be entertaining, as is just about all the 2 leading ladies' banter. Their chemistry seems to work really well.
Just say catapult like a normal person?
A trebuchet is a type of catapult. It can handle heavier projectiles, like this one, and fling them longer distances.
Right. You learned that in your military training?
I looked it up on Wikipedia, like a normal person.
In fact, despite the story in general being something we've not only seen several times before, but something we've seen several times in this series, it is incredibly well written, just like all the others. It doesn't hurt that the script seems well aware of the tropes it is retreading, such as the role of a bad guy in these types of stories.
Hang back. Let you do the heavy lifting, then swoop in and grab up the task once you've done all the hard work.
And even the structure and number of puzzles you'll find.
Figured we had one more to go.
How did you know that?
Everything always comes in 3s. Huh? We'll see.
Ah yes, the puzzles. It's Uncharted, so you know there's all sorts of puzzles. Some of them are fairly easy. And some might have you pulling out your hair. As usual, your mileage may vary. Even if you don't like the puzzles, there's plenty of action for you. And in most cases, you can choose to run in guns blazing, or opt for a more stealthy route. Whichever you choose, the gameplay is much like the earlier games, so if you're already familiar with those, there really isn't much of a learning curve here. Not surprisingly, the graphics are gorgeous. Some of the landscapes are so beautiful, even Chloe stops to take a picture. And you can take one too, thanks to photo mode. Photo mode gives you tons of options to personalize your screenshot, including filters, sun position, facial expressions, and more. As with anything on the PS4, you can share them with friends or the community. There are a few different online multiplayer modes, and if you insist on playing as Nathan Drake, this is where you do it. It runs the gamut of the usual modes you'd expect, and they all work pretty well. Although I will say that survival mode seemed really hard on even the easiest difficulties in the first couple of rounds. But then, if you're familiar with this channel, that shouldn't surprise you. All in all, this was a really good game, which was entirely expected from this series. Gorgeous visuals, tricky puzzles, great banter, and plenty of action all add up to one excellent experience. On a scale of 10, I would have to give this one a 9.
It's messed up.
That's family.
Whether you're new to the series or an old pro, you'll want in on this adventure.
No. How do we get off this thing?
Thank you for watching my review. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, and while you're at it, click subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And check out some of my other videos while you're here. We'll see you next time.